What is up, Gaming Garys? Your boy Yeatle here, coming at you with some early thoughts on Overwatch 2's newest hero, Venture. Blizzard did a limited time release for Venture lasting about 4 days, in which I managed to accumulate a whopping 27 hours playing them in custom games with viewers. We had some mixed lobbies ranging from Diamond Average to High Masters with some GM players here and there. So here's what I think of Venture's kit, their strengths, weaknesses, who they're good with, bad against, what needs buffs, nerfs, are they fun, and without further ado, let's start from the top with their weapon. The gun is called Smart Excavator, and basically it's a projectile weapon type similar to Sigma's. Main difference is it's not 2 shots at a time, but instead 1 explosive orb per fire. This damage by itself is not all that impressive, taking about 4 body shots to eliminate most heroes, and it can't headshot. Despite the below average damage output on the primary fire, it actually combos very well with the rest of their kit, which we'll get into in a moment, but overall, Smart Excavator takes some time to get used to, just like most projectiles, but in the end, it's pretty fun to use and satisfying to land. Next up, we have Venture's unique melee called Clobber. It deals more damage than a regular melee, but the catch is the melee animation is longer, meaning Venture is unable to shoot until it ends. However, it can be animation cancelled with abilities, which is something very few heroes can do. This becomes very useful for setting up some of the mole's kill combos. In short, melee is pretty fun to use. I find myself spamming it during the downtime all the time because why not? The animation's just fun to watch. Moving on to the most fun ability in Venture's kit, Drill Dash. This ability is like Doomfist Punch if it could go vertically. For starters, the mobility is amazing, between getting high ground or covering the low ground, but also, where Venture's primary fire lacks in damage, Drill Dash more than makes up for it. Primary fire into Drill Dash primary fire, and maybe a melee, is all you need to burst down most squishy heroes. This combo is the make or break factor for Venture. Without this, the hero would be lucky to be called average, because the burst kills are what make them shine. That being said, I am a little bit worried about Venture's potential to be a hide-and-seek character. What I mean by that is the burst being so good might lead to these cheese strats where Venture hides in a corner, insta-kills an unsuspecting squishy, then runs away. This isn't a new strategy by any means. Heroes like Junkrat, Tracer, and Reaper are good at this, but right now Venture is hands down the best at it because of how quick, consistent, and safe it is to pull off. In the end, it's probably best to let it go live for a little longer and see what happens. One change I would make about the ability, however, is camera lock while using drill. As of right now, you can't turn your camera while drill dashing, and I found it to cause a lot of confusing moments where I'm getting hit markers, but I have no clue where the person I'm booping ends up. I like to see the hero get an option to disable camera lock. Now for the last ability, Burrow. In this ability, Venture literally digs themselves underground and tunnels around at an increased movement speed. The best way to think of this ability is like Reaper's Wraith form, except it has a delay on startup, making Venture vulnerable for a split second before becoming immune to everything. The other key difference is upon exiting, the player can charge up the Burrow and deal exiting damage to anyone in range. It's like Wrecking Ball's Pile Driver, except upside down. This jump out of Burrow is really useful as a vertical option. You can get to most medium height high grounds with it, which saves you from having to use Drill Dash, meaning that you can take a favorable 1v1 almost immediately out of Burrow. Speaking of Drill Dash, you can use it while underground for a reduced cooldown and a slight boop on enemies. This whole Burrow playstyle once again reminds me of Wrecking Ball with how you can just do these goofy roll-throughs to disrupt the enemies. Overall, I think the window of vulnerability on windup can be very frustrating to get used to, but once you get past that, it really has a nice cooldown cycle with Drill Dash. Something concerning about Burrow, however, is the stall potential. I was recently having a thought that stalling in Overwatch 2 isn't that big of an issue with 2 CP gone, but some of the shenanigans you can do with Venture relatively safe is pretty concerning. On the topic of stalling, it's odd that Venture can contest objectives in Burrow, but can't capture or push them. If we're gonna let them stall, might as well let them cap too, right? Finally, we're moving on to the ultimate, Tectonic Shock. To put it simply, Venture gets a 4-charge Earth Shatter. The shatters don't stun, but they have a knock-up on landing, and hitting 2 of them on a squishy hero kills. The ultimate is by far the hardest part of the kit to use effectively. If a squishy hero gets healed, or if they have an above average health pool like Maya Reaper, it takes 3 of the 4 charges to kill. To put it in perspective, that's landing 3 no-stun Earth Shatters in a row for a kill. On top of that, it has many of the same shortcomings as Shatter, where since it requires the user to be grounded, Venture is at the mercy of the map geometry. It doesn't travel off high ground well, and in most cases, it won't travel up it either. In its current state, this isn't an ultimate that is very good at winning 1v1s, escaping, and rarely is it even good for frontline pressure. I found that the best use for it is to take an off angle or flank and abuse the range to get decent chip damage off, which could then have the side effect of leading into a kill. Considering how good the rest of Venture's kit is, it's okay that the ultimate isn't insane. However, I really don't like how the timer continues to run as they use abilities like Burrow or Drill Dash. I think freezing the timer during the abilities would make the ultimate flow a lot better with Venture's kit without pushing it over the edge of being too good. That just about wraps up Venture's kit, so let's talk matchups. Who does Venture cook? Who does Venture get cooked by? Well, Venture really has the potential to roll anyone who doesn't outright counter them. Immobile heroes are by far the easiest since they can't run away from the approaching rubble on the ground, but even the mobile heroes can have some trouble since Venture has mobility to catch up with most. So with that being said, we'll just move on to the counters. The strongest counters by far are the CC heroes. Roadhog is really annoying. Hook after Drill or Burrow is pretty free because of Venture's big hitbox. Sombra can also catch Venture out really easily since Venture usually wants to spam cooldowns one after another. Getting hacked at any point during an engagement pretty much leads to a dead mole. A well-timed sleep or hinder puts Venture out of commission as well. Not technically a stun, but boops like Lucio's are pretty effective at disrupting drill combos. Lastly, Pharah can be good against Venture since she's rarely grounded and once again boop to disrupt drill combos. I won't put Echo on the list because she ends up being in range a lot more and also doesn't have a boop combo. So that's about it for matchups. What about synergies? Venture is more of a flanker than frontliner, so having some dive heroes with them is usually a good pick. By far, the top 3 have to be Ball, Doomfist, and Lucio. Ball slams into Venture Burrows is almost as good as a dopamine hit from old school Orisa Hog pull hook combos. Second up is Doomfist because Venture is basically DPS Doomfist, so it's like you got 2 heroes with the same, if not similar goals on the team. Last being Lucio because getting random speed boosts during Drill Dash feels amazing. You actually just go flying across the map. There's also the added benefit of Lucio diving with Venture. Besides that, like I said, most mobile or dive heroes work very well with Venture, but on the non-mobile side, Zarya is strong because bubbles pretty much cover Venture's main weakness of getting stunned, with the added plus of giving Zarya a charge target. Zenyatta is also good with Venture because Discord dive, but also because Heal Orb is currently the only heal option that Venture can receive while underground. Finally, let's answer the important questions. Is Venture good? From this playtest, I'll say Venture is without a doubt good. If I were to put them on a DPS tier list, they would be borderline A to B tier. Venture's role in a team feels very similar to Tracer's in where they have this crazy amount of disruption, but also kill potential. The question is whether they're outright better than Tracer, which I'm not too convinced of that one yet. One thing for sure is that it's easier to engage with this hero than it is with Tracer. Venture gets a solid 8.5 out of 10 on the power scale. Now for the really important question, how fun is Venture? Well, they got high mobility, high kill potential, and a lot of variety in how you choose to use their abilities. If you ask me, that checks off a lot of boxes for a fun to play hero. But the one sucker is the ultimate, even after 27 hours, doesn't feel quite right, and that is a big part of the hero's kit. Despite that, I'm giving Venture a solid 9.5 out of 10. For me personally, it's going to be really hard to choose between one-tricking Venture or reworked Ball in Season 10. Either way, I'm excited for the future. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of Venture's kit. Fun? Broken? Also, if you'd like to see some of the best Venture games I had during the limited release, check out my second YouTube channel, yeatle posts down in the description, or click one of the videos on screen. That's it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and as always, good luck on the grind.